Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our community conversation featuring Alpha Grand Rapids. My name is Kiera. I am the program manager for the Day One Doula Collective, which is housed at Baxter Community Center. The Day One Doula Collective is a systemic approach to address the disparities that we see for Black and Brown birthing families in our community by making sure that those families are paired and connected to a doula of color from their same community. And I am going to quickly turn it over to Matt so we can go ahead and get started. I know we're just a couple minutes late, but Matt is from Alpha Grand Rapids, so I'll turn it over to you.
Let me go ahead and get the screen up here. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. As Kira said, my name is Matt Havlin. I am representing Alpha Grand Rapids today. I am the Men's Center Director. Many of you I know have probably worked in the community for a long time. So if we haven't crossed paths, it's nice to meet you at least virtually. But a little bit about me in my work that I've been doing. Started out back in 2008. I ran a ministry called A Father's Walk. It was actually an organization for single dads. And then in 2012, I came on board with the Great Start Parent Coalition. I was with them for several years, transitioned over to Head Start for Kent County, and now I've been at Alpha Grand Rapids as their Men's Center Director for a little over a year. So I've been working in the urban Greater Grand Rapids area and specifically with early childhood for about the last 10 years. So who is Alpha Grand Rapids? A little bit of history here. Founded back in 1985, formerly Alpha Women's Center. They started as a little storefront office up on the northeast side off of Michigan Avenue to provide pregnancy tests and other medical services for women affected by unplanned pregnancy. We moved to our current location of 1725 South Division in 2010. Basically, you'll see a picture here at the end, but we are on Division, almost exactly halfway between Burton and Hall. So we are in the heart of the 49507 zip code. We acquired the property, which was an old condemned duplex. It was boarded up and condemned by the city. It was a mess, to be honest. It was being used for prostitution and drugs and violence and a lot of things that weren't very healthy for the community. So we acquired the property in 2015. Eventually about 2018, we're able to completely destroy that house and build a brand new men's center. So we started serving dads in that time frame. So we transitioned our name or changed our name from Alpha Women's Center to become Alpha Grand Rapids. As you see here on the screen, it says Alpha Women's Center and Alpha Men's Center. Again, collectively as Alpha Grand Rapids, we are one nonprofit. We work together to provide both moms and dads with what we call our brand promise. Anybody and everybody that walks through our doors, regardless of race, religion, background, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, everybody is guaranteed the same thing, that they will receive non-judgmental, compassionate care. That is our brand promise to everyone. We do not have any income restrictions or geographic restrictions. So we are not income-based to receive services, nor geographically. So basically, if you need our services, if it's something that we provide that interests you and you can get yourself here, we are more than happy to help. Most of our clients come from Greater Grand Rapids area, 07, 03, 04, but also Wyoming, Kentwood. But we have had occasionally people come from other counties, even Montcalm County, Ottawa County, and Allegan County as well. Here are our 4 services that we offer, and I'm going to break these down each one very quickly. But we have a medical department, support services, educational services, and material resources. Now, the numbers you see here are 2021 numbers. We know that the last few years have been difficult, but I can say right now, so here we are just ending our first quarter in March, and we are actually already at or eclipsing the numbers we were at in 2019. So pre-COVID, we're already starting to see numbers in many of our departments actually where we were at in 2019 or possibly even a little higher. We are fully open right now and we are serving clients in person. But in 2021, we had 315 medical service visits. What we provide is we provide pregnancy tests, we provide ultrasounds on a limited basis, and we provide STI testing for both men and women. And to be specific, We test for chlamydia or gonorrhea. We do have a registered nurse on staff, and we have some sonographers that are contracted on a temp basis. Support services is by far our biggest department that we offer. Really, this accounts for the vast majority of the work that we do. Now, I want to be clear that clients can participate in multiple departments: support services, educational services, medical services, and so on. So in 2021, over 2,400 support service visits. The bulk of what we do is called our Step Up program. This is our mentoring and coaching program. In the Women's Center, they meet with a mentor. In the Men's Center, we meet with a coach. It's the exact same thing. We just call it different names. And this is really just a one-on-one service. It's an opportunity for a client to sit down with a trained volunteer and really talk about whatever they want to talk about. All of our volunteers go through very extensive training. In fact, they go through 4 3-hour sessions. We do our training every spring and every fall. So they go through about 12 hours in the classroom. And then they have to shadow at least once or twice a veteran volunteer. And then they're shadowed on their first 1 or 2 visits as well. So when it's all said and done, because we take this seriously and we know that we sometimes are working with some families that are really going through some tough things, it's really important that our volunteers are equipped for this. So they go through about 20 hours of training. And of course, staff members are available at any given time. So the coaching and the mentoring is the main portion. However, we have support groups as well. We have a single mom group that meets 2 different cohorts. They meet on Tuesdays and on Fridays. We also have a Monday night fatherhood group. Now, the fatherhood group is not exclusive to single dads. Any father or father figure is welcome to attend. We provide meals at both of those classes. So the single moms get a lunch because that's held during the daytime, and childcare is provided for the single mom group. The dads, we don't offer childcare right now, primarily because we just don't have a big enough need for it yet. But on Monday nights, we provide dinner for the guys, and then we do a group afterwards. We also have another group called Grupo de Mamás Latinas, and that is our Spanish support group as well. And we also offer free haircuts. Now, this is by appointment, but families can get haircuts. That's every other Tuesday night in the Women's Center. And I think we all know how fast a haircut can add up for one person, let alone multiple people as well. Educational services. Now, this is something that really makes us unique. We are a pregnancy care center, and in the field that we're in, having an educational department is rather rare. So we offer pregnancy education. In fact, that just started this week. It is a 4-week class, and it is offered 4 times a year, so once a quarter. We partner with Spectrum Healthier Communities on this, and they have a registered nurse that does teach the pregnancy ed class. So obviously pregnant moms, but if their partner wants to attend too, more than welcome to. And if they go through all 4 classes, they receive a free pack and play at the end of the class. We have a parenting class that is offered twice a year in the spring and in the fall. That is an 11-week class. They use the Chicago Parenting Program, which is evidence-based curriculum. We have a GED completion program. Now, that was put on hold last year. We were partnering with the Kent ISD. Primary reason that it was put on hold is just there was a lack of teachers, and we weren't able to have a teacher that can make it in on a regular basis. But we are looking at different ways to provide that, whether it's a trained volunteer or some other avenue, so we can get GED going again this fall. We have English second language ESL classes for both men and women. Those are offered on Tuesday evenings and on Thursday mornings. Same time for both class, so both parents could go to both centers and receive ESL. And again, depending on the class and the day, some of these offer childcare as well. And then last but certainly not least, I mean, who doesn't like free stuff? I don't care who we are, we all like free stuff, right? So we have a material resources department. When our clients come in and they receive our services, they earn what are called Alpha Bucks. Now, Alpha Bucks are basically like paper money. We have a large store in the Women's Center, and we also have a material resources closet in the Men's Center. This is an opportunity for, if you will, clients to earn while they learn. So they come and meet with a coach or a mentor. Perhaps they come to a group or a class. Every time they come, they earn what are called Alpha Bucks, and they can shop once a month, and those Alpha Bucks are exchanged for baby items. By far, most of the time people go for diapers, wipes, and formula, but we also have children's clothing. We have maternity clothing. We also have hygiene products for men and women, as well as underwear. And then if they want to save their bigger or their Alpha Bucks for bigger ticket items, such as a car seat, strollers, pack and place, they can do that as well. So you see right there, $81 is our average per visit that each client receives. Now, if one parent or caregiver is here and their partner is here and they're both participating in programs, they both can shop. So one person could earn on average $81, where two people could earn well over $160 just in one visit. And again, they can shop once a month. I've seen families, honestly, that have saved up their Alpha Bucks, or if they played it right, maybe we're having a special or something, they've walked out of here with well over $200, maybe even $300 worth of free stuff. I mean, a car seat alone, a brand new car seat, that's at least $100. The car seats that we do have, just in case you have any questions, are just the infant ones. They're 0 to 12 months. So it's the baby cradle that locks in to the base. If they needed something larger than for an infant, then we refer them to the car seat safety program through Cherry Health. I'm going to show a little video here. Again, I know we're recording this on Zoom. It's a 3-minute video, but it does give you a glimpse into the lives of some of our clients. I just want to make sure my sound is on. Yep, looks like it is. So here's one of our moms and one of our dads as well.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was just shocked because I was still in high school. I was 18 and I didn't know that I could like have a whole kid.
When I first became a dad, I was scared, very nervous, clueless. I was trying to finish high school, and you gotta have a job to take care of a child. And so I was very, very lost.
I was like 90% sure I was pregnant when I first came in. And then they gave me a pregnancy test too, just to make sure. I was freaking out. I didn't really know like what to do. They just welcomed me with open arms. And after that, I didn't feel as nervous.
The first time I came to Alpha was nervousness, lost, confused. But I was determined to reach a goal of like learning more traits of being a parent, a better dad. The only way to do that was to get lessons through other parents that's already been there.
They also help you emotionally because you can get a mentor there, and just talking to someone really helped me. She knew that I was like afraid of my circumstances, and she just made me feel like I could do it and that I was accepted, and no matter what choice that I made, that they wouldn't judge me, and they just wanted to love.
So it's an opening, welcoming environment. Everyone like, well, we are here for you. We want to help you. I love it. From the woman's side to the man's side, it's just all overwhelming support that you get. I was able to get a crib, a stroller, clothes, hygiene products, and that is like huge.
Anyone struggling or thinking they can't do it, they should find their way to Alpha Women, because immediately you just get arms open with love and compassion to your situation.
I think it's all been worth it. The trainings, the classes, the time that I would not get back to show my daughter I am your dad, I am a changed man. I'm not so angry. I feel like I finally found my peace.
They made sure that I could do this, and that was what I needed to feel like I can have a kid, and if without them, I don't know where I'd be.
Okay, well, hopefully that came through and wasn't too glitchy. I know Zoom can be kind of fun sometimes. But basically, Ava, being a teen mom, to be able to connect with a mentor and to have somebody come around and support her, Devon, by far, he's here like every week, and he actually now has a young son as well, who he brings in, who I said I would hire one day in the men's center. The kid is just adorable. So it's just really fun to be able to, for any of us that are engaged in community work, and to be able to walk alongside our families and do life with our families. You will see up in the top corner there, it says worth it. So this was actually our theme in 2021 for our banquet that we did, our gala back in October. And the theme was worth it. Why is it worth it for our families to participate in services at Alpha Grand Rapids? And we, you saw a small clip there. We interviewed several other moms and dads. And why is it worth it for people to volunteer here as well? So you're going to see the worth it theme kind of throughout this presentation. But we're happy to say that in 2021 alone, so again, really kind of still in COVID here, we hit 3 massive milestones. I told you that parents are able to get diapers as one of their options for material resources. Well, we had a goal for 2021 to hit 100,000 diapers, or to give away 100,000 diapers. We have never in our history given away 100,000 diapers. Well, we did not give away 100,000 diapers. I'm happy to say that we gave away 137,000 diapers back into the community just in 2021 alone. So that's just a tribute to the awesome support we have of businesses and churches and individuals that support us in things like doing diaper drives or clothing drives and so on. And I think all of us know just how expensive diapers are, and with the increase in costs lately, and as children get older, they're going through more diapers and so on. So to be able to hand these out, actually the average client per visit walks out with 4 dozen diapers per child in diapers. And what I mean by that is if they have, like, I'm just going to make this up, one child that's in size 1s and another one is in size 4s, well, they get 4 dozen diapers in size 1 and then 4 dozen diapers in size 4 as well. So we go all the way up to 4 or 5T in pull-ups. So to give away that many in 1 year was just amazing. The second milestone that we hit, we opened a men's center. Yes, that's me in the middle with a giant pair of scissors, and no, I did not cut off my hand or anybody else's next door. I told you a little bit about the history of it, but here is what's just absolutely amazing about it. We are, to our knowledge, and we've asked around, we are currently the first, and we are also the only pregnancy care center in the entire United States, the whole US, with its own standalone building for dads. Now, when you really think about that, even outside of a pregnancy care or a medical or families or early childhood, how many buildings can you say that are directed specifically for dads or designated? So we have a brand new men's center that opened up. We cut the ribbon in May, opened in June 7th of 2021. So we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. And then, and then also here's the picture. So maybe now you recognize the women's center is over here. It's actually an old funeral home. And there were offices in there. There was an old church in there before we took over in 2010. Again, our address is 1725. If you come straight across the street, here is where Alternative Directions and the fire station is. So we're on Division, right between Burton and Hall. And then what was an old boarded up condemned duplex is now a brand new men's center as well. The men's center was actually built debt-free. And in October of 2021, the women's center became debt-free as well. So Alpha Grand Rapids is now 100% debt-free, which means that we can just use the money that comes in and do more stuff and give more stuff away as well. Last couple things here. Again, 2019 numbers right here, 164 regular volunteers. Alpha Grand Rapids, when we are full with our staff, full-time and part-time, we employ 19 people, 19 staff members, and we run annually on a base of between 160 and 170 volunteers. Alpha Grand Rapids does not function without our amazing volunteers. It could be front of the house, client-facing volunteer roles, such as a mentor or a coach leading a class or a group. Otherwise, doing some of the back of the house things. All these donations that come in have to be inventoried and sorted and put away. So a lot of those are cooking a meal. We have security on Tuesday nights, which is our busiest night, to help clients walk to and from their cars, and so on. So again, I mean, just having the support that we have from the community, both with the donations, but having 160, 170 volunteers anytime throughout the year, logging tens of thousands of hours over the years. If you were ever interested, just plugging it out there, you are more than welcome to contact us. And speaking of that, so there's a QR code. You can connect with us. A couple of reasons if you would want to connect with us. Down at the bottom, you can email us or just go through our website. The first one is if you want to make a referral, if you ever wanted to refer a family to us for services, again, we don't have any restrictions, but if we were to narrow it down to our target clientele, it would be 18 to 30 years old, low income, unplanned pregnancy. Again, that's not everybody, but that's for the most part of who we serve. But if anybody that you have that could use some assistance with some coaching or mentoring or joining a group, they want to get their GED or ESL class, please refer them to us. If you're interested in volunteering, connect with us. And this PowerPoint we just had back in March, we had a comedy night where we had a comedian come in, and we just had a really fun night. I was actually one of 4 people that took a pie to the face that night as well. So that is it. I'm going to unshare, and I just really thank you guys for your time. And I don't know if there's any questions, Kiera, or anything else you want me to state.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. That was an amazing presentation. I just had a couple questions that a few folks might be interested in knowing. So as it relates to some of the services that you mentioned that Alpha offers, one being pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, and STI testing, do you guys also offer protection, whether it's like condoms or any information?
No, we don't.
on just
No, we don't have
things
any
of that nature?
contraceptives or anything.
Okay. And then another question that I had was related to the mentorship or the volunteer opportunities. What are you all looking for as it relates to the volunteers that come into Alpha? And then what does that process look like for actually getting kind of involved?
Okay, so it broke up a little. So just so that I'm clear, what are we looking for volunteers and what's the process? Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. If you speak Spanish, you jump to the top of the list because that is by far our biggest demographic that we serve. And we are always in need of Spanish speaking volunteers. So please, if you are bilingual, we would love to talk to you. Right now, for the most part, we're doing pretty good. I think GED, if somebody's ever interested in teaching a GED class, I don't know where they're at with that right now. I'm not in the educational department. So those are probably a couple of the biggest ones. And we're always looking for more coaches or mentors as well as we continue to grow. Because a lot of times the Women's Center, especially because they've been around for over 30 years, sometimes they're on a wait list. So we want to get them connected with a mentor. The process, just reach out to us and it would go to the proper department. So if somebody was looking to volunteer in the Men's Center, go to me, educational, or support services. It would be filtered to them. We would contact you, kind of get an idea of what you're looking for, if it's a need for us. And then we would connect you with our community engagement manager, and she would send over a packet. We do a background check on everybody. And then of course we have some other guidelines as well that we're looking for. So really just connect with us, though. We'll have an initial conversation with the right department head. And then if it's a good fit, we just go through the paperwork, the background check, and so on.
Perfect. And do you know what the commitment looks like for those who choose to volunteer?
Yeah, we usually ask for at least a 1-year commitment. But I can tell you right now, we have women volunteers because they've been open since 1985 that have been here well over a decade.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. The Men's Center, we've only been open for a year, but they were operating out of the Women's Center building for a while. So I think the longest male volunteers that we have currently is about 3 years.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
perfect.
But it's great, but that's what we want to do because we try to keep them with the same volunteer, because then you can, if you're meeting with the same volunteer for, months, if not years, you build an amazing relationship. In fact, one of our young moms recently named her baby after her mentor. So that's just a huge tribute to the mentor. And how humbling is that?
Right. That is so amazing to hear. I'm curious, and you might have mentioned it, But what is the number of families that you guys see like annually? And then if you could identify like which zip codes are you seeing families come from within our
Sure.
area?
Approximately 1,100 families. Now, if I'm to be honest, sometimes we see them one time and for whatever reason, we just don't see them again. I don't think it's on us. It's just, they come in, maybe get a service one time. But on average, we see about 1,100. I would say, I don't have the exact numbers, but I would say we have 400 to 500 distinct clients, meaning individual clients. For example, in the men's center, I might have in 1 month, 200 visits, but that could mean I have 50 or 60 distinct clients in 1 month, meaning 50 or 60 guys are coming through, but they might be coming 2 or 3 times in a month, like to a fatherhood group, or some might meet with a coach and then come to a group. Zip codes, we are in the 49507. So this is definitely our home area. But again, they come from all over. I would say 03, 04, 05. People, I know we have some families from Comstock Park, but I would just say greater Grand Rapids metro, but then also Wyoming, Kentwood as well. Not too many from the rural areas that come out. Again, I have one dad that drives from Wayland every week, but that's just because there's just really, again, us being so rare having a men's center. But yeah, for the most part, I would say the greater Grand Rapids zip codes and then Wyoming, Kentwood.
Nice, thank you. And then the last question that I had for you was related to emergency services. So if a client has an emergent need, are they able to come to Alpha to receive services, or if they needed supplies?
I'm sorry, it broke up there. Could you?
Oh, no worries. For clients who have an emergency situation or are in need of emergent services, is that something that Alpha offers? And if so, is there like a cap to that?
Yes, good question. So we do have what are called emergency visits. It is a one-time deal where they can come in, they can get 2 dozen diapers, a pack of wipes, and then they get one extra Alpha buck to spend on whatever they would like. And then from there on, we would, try to get them plugged into a program. But that's not to say if we have clients, I got a guy that's been here for 2 or 3 years, right? And just sometimes they hit a rough patch. So we can do an emergency material resources visit as well for our clients. But if somebody that's never been a client here, it's a one-time emergency visit of a couple dozen diapers, wipes, and then 1 extra Alpha buck. And then we would hope that they would fill out an intake form and we get them plugged in with something else.
Nice, thank you. That's really beneficial information that we can absolutely pass along to some of the clients that we see under our doula collective, and also hopefully be able to funnel some more additional volunteers over to you all at Alpha too,
Yeah,
with some of our doulas.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, we would love that. And last thing, I know you guys have an open house coming up. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about that event and kind of what community can expect, and if they want to come and support Alpha, how can we do that?
Sure, thank you. Wednesday, June 15, I think the approximate time is 8:30 a.m. till noon. So Wednesday, June 15, we are having a community partners open house. So this is specifically for, as it states, community partners such as Baxter Community Center, or anybody that we would want to partner with and they would want to partner with us too. We're really looking for reciprocal relationships. Now we understand there's a lot of organizations that serve a very niche need that we might only refer to a couple times a year, but because a lot of us work in the same field, specifically with young families or families with young children, the more services that they can get, the better. So me coming from Head Start, of course, I'm always pushing something like home visiting or free preschool. So we have young families, I might push them over to Head Start, where at the same time, we would hope somewhere like Head Start would say, hey, I have a family that's, got a 4-year-old and a newborn, they could benefit from our services. So it's just an open house style that day. There are sign up times. We will be doing tour groups. So if you have a group, you would sign up. I'm just going to make something up, like the 9:15 slot, 9:15 to 10. And then you would tour both buildings. And then we're going to have just some snacks and maybe a little time of networking as well. So just reach out to us. Again, you can just go to alphagrandrapids.org, contact us through there, and then ask more. But that's more for community partners, not just for the general public.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. Well, those were all the questions that I had. I am super excited to be able to share this with just our collective members as well as our community members to learn more about Alpha Grand Rapids. Alpha is an amazing organization that has been helping tons and tons of families for a really, really long time. So thank you so much for joining us, Matt.
Yep. Yeah, Kent County is really, I mean, we are very fortunate here to have so many early childhood services. We don't benefit from the Ready by 5 millage, but a lot of partners do. Just the fact that we have those kind of services, and we're all really one huge early childhood network. And when I got into this in 2012, I really had no idea what early childhood was like, and it just keeps growing here in Kent County. So we're really fortunate around here to be able to serve young families and get to those early childhood years when they're so developmentally important.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, thank you so much. If anyone has any questions for Matt, like please feel free to either reach out directly via Alpha's information. You can also leave them in the comments below and we'll make sure to funnel those questions directly to Matt. So thank you all for joining us. Bye.
All right, thank you.